cops in the plaza here. Just coming out of here, just in front before I got here tonight. Going off to collect their drug money now. There's a place there. Across the street there. I'm gonna walk by there and get the car number of the street. Go up. Yeah, you can see them just sitting in the plaza. Actually, I got a little bit of time. I'm gonna film these fuckers as long as they're sitting there. I'm gonna film them, show that they're. Notice these surveillance role players here. The one guy on the phone just sitting there. Alright, stand right there. Look behind, they're sending a bunch of operatives too. I'm just going to ask them for directions. Then I can stand right there on the sidewalk. Film them the whole time. Now look at this, check this out. Hand across the chest. Excuse me? Hi, do you know where Ave de la Colline is? Ave de la Colline, the street.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's supposed to be near here, I understand. I couldn't find it.
So,
Mm-hmm.
just look.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
We're just here.
Okay.
You just have to take the road here, go up.
Okay.
It's going to be like right after that, like at the T intersection.
So you make a right there at the intersection?
Well, it's on that street, but like the majority is on the right side. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't have my phone with me tonight, so yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that, yeah. Car number 88. I'm gonna stand right up here. I'm not going in that direction anyway, and he's gonna see that I'm not going in that direction. He's gonna stand right here the whole time he's there. And just capture the footage that I want to have of this cretin. I'll stay at a distance, but I'm just going to show you how long he's just sitting there getting paid to do nothing here. So you'll see from here. We'll go a little further, just back to this area here, and then kind of stand off to the side and watch how long he stays there for. Just so you know that these are what the people who are supposed to actually serve and protect you are doing here. So we're just going to film that there. And stand right here. Here are the motorcycles over there too. They're gonna. What is it, 915? Okay. Even if I get the 55, that'll work. So I'm just gonna film from here. You can see just standing off to the side here. I'll move a little further down here. So it's at a bit of a distance, and you can still see. This is all about harassment, stalking, and intimidation. You can see where he's positioned, right across from the area where they know I'm going to be going. Doing no legitimate work. These fucking drug trafficking fucking scumbags here who work with the police here. Police freely allow these people, these biker gangs, to traffic narcotics, profit from prostitution and abuse. It's always in a swarm too, always in a group. So you see him over there, their friend over there, who works with them, and you see these fucking murderous psychopath, fucking drug trafficking, child abuse enabling fucking criminals on this side of the street. He's okay with them being there too, you can see that, right? Nothing odd about a fucking swarm of bikers coming around here. Like I said, you'll see them in the operation both in Ontario and in Quebec, doing their targeting and their stalking of law-abiding citizens while they fucking traffic narcotics and profit from prostitution. All that shit about that you see, these lies about how the police are actually, you know, doing anything to deter the crimes that those people commit is also laughable. Could go up here, I guess, into the parking lot where it's a little more discreet. If I'm a little behind tonight, I don't care. If I'm a little later. Also, the chief of police for Gatineau is also involved in trafficking narcotics, and he works with those organized crime groups, such as these wonderful people there who just passed by. So, I'm going to keep watching him here. I'm not going anywhere till this fucker goes too, so he can stay. We can stay here for an hour. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be a little later if I have to go. Be later. So we'll take note of the time for now. How long this guy's been sitting here already, just sitting there doing nothing, staring out at the fucking road in front of the area where they know I'm going to be arriving. That was again, this is car number 88, this psychopath is in. No legitimate work, just sitting there. Got him on camera, I'm going to put him in the thumbnail though too. Got stalkers approaching behind here. See more surveillance role players. This guy's just coming up here. He'll probably walk and talk to the cops or something. Hey, let's see what he does. Let me show this guy's phone. Yeah, you can see as I approached too, they had like a group of people immediately coming by there. He's gonna have a little while to wait because I'm not going anywhere. He's supposed to drive it out after I pass by, shortly after I pass by. So I'm going to drag this on for... Again, I'm on a public sidewalk, so they can't say anything about that. So last night you had the constables in Ottawa for the second consecutive night. This is the first night this week that these drug trafficking Masonic frauds have shown up. Yeah, and he saw too that group of bikers. Those are his friends over there that just pulled out, who traffic narcotics, abuse women and children, and fucking commit any fucking crimes they want to with no repercussions thanks to these people here. And also, they attend the same Masonic lodges as these people do, by the way, too. I saw the one guy, what was it, they sent a bunch of bikers to try and intimidate me before, like, traveling on the bus. And the one guy has a tattoo of Hermes on his arm. Of course, you know, the Egyptian, the whole thing with the Hermeticism. Hermes, closely related with the Kabbalah. So of course they're attending the same lodges as these people do, because that's closely intertwined with fraud masonry as well. And, so drug dealers, drug traffickers, criminals all attend the same lodges as the people who claim to serve and protect the public, but who really don't, who really just sit around doing nothing, enabling crime, participating in staged events in coordination with the media to deceive the public. You'll never see one of these fucking hoaxes without these actors showing up to play their role as fucking actors. And that's because they're all Masons, and if you don't make the connection between them admittedly being Masons and the fucking type of corruption you see within this organization, then you're absolutely blind and not looking at facts. This is a citizen operative. I'm going to just move off to the side here. I'm going to continue to capture this footage of this Mason just sitting there getting paid to do fucking nothing. Okay, he's crossing over there. What's the time now? Okay, so he's been there 15 minutes. Sitting there 15 minutes. Just staring out at the road doing nothing. And this is all supposed to be about for as long as I'm here. He's going to stay there. So I don't have my phone with me, but I suppose I could go back and get it and phone and just say I'm going to be late, because I want to film the whole time this guy's here, and every time they do this stuff. You can see he's doing absolutely nothing here. Another thing you gotta know is all these people on YouTube who supposedly film the police to quote unquote keep them honest and stuff like that, they're all just frauds and Masons who work with the police in stage fake scenarios. And you can tell those people are just actors because they just act goofy and childish. And it's all done to make these psychopaths look good. Here's a one headlight car coming right there. See that completely off. Now he saw that. The officer clearly saw that. That person's driving with the one headlight off at nighttime, endangering people, and he's sitting there not doing anything, not doing work. So we can establish right now, I'm going to put that up on Twitter as well, showing a Gatineau police officer not doing his job and allowing someone to break the law. That's an infraction right there. He watched the person go by. Either that or he was blind. And he's not moving, he's not doing anything about it. It's the car right up there. It just passed. The one headlight is completely off, and he's just sitting there. So why is someone like this in a position that is supposed to uphold the law when he's openly not upholding the law? That's what you have to ask yourself. For those who don't know, the whole thing with driving with one headlight off, they surround people who they're targeting with people who are doing this as a sensitization method. The police know about it, and the police allow these people, allow them to drive this way at night, even though it's dangerous. They don't pull them over at all. He clearly saw it. If he didn't see that person, then he's neglecting his job. Because why isn't he out, on the road or doing something legitimate, instead of just sitting there getting paid to do nothing? Well, because he's been told to come and sit here. Because I'm coming past to go to work. You could see him driving up in the plaza there immediately in front of me, and then as I continued on, he comes up here and sits here and does nothing. So these are what would be referred to as disruption tactics, with what CSIS describes as disruption tactics. And they're meant to intentionally send a message, but these people are just told to lie about it and say, just make something up. So they lie to the public, basically, about what they're doing. While they harass and stalk law-abiding citizens and enable the activities of murderous criminals, like the ones you saw up there a short time ago. Well, I don't know if they're all murderous, but definitely probably involved in organized crime. And then they allow people to break the law. So there was a clear infraction right there, right in front of this officer. And he's not doing his job. He's not upholding the law. So why is that? Why is he in his position, this guy in car number 88 right now? Why, when it says to serve and protect, is he not doing his job? Why is he not... that's endangering people on the road, driving like that with one headlight at night. And he's not moving, he's not doing anything to attempt to even speak to that. He didn't. He let that person go right by. So why is this man in his position? You got to ask yourself that. Why are there only psychopaths in these positions? Why has every person with a conscience, any person who would question doing something like this, what this guy's doing here, been rooted out from the police? Why is that? Well, because it's an illegitimate institution, and it literally is a criminal institution. Without a shadow of a doubt, getting somebody walking up behind me. Now I'm just going to walk up here because they're going to send people to kind of creep near me. Okay, well, at this point we're getting close to 20 minutes of him just sitting there. We've noted also that someone drove by right in front of him with breaking the law, and he didn't do anything about it. So either he was negligent and can claim that he didn't see it, or he knowingly just ignored it. One of the two. And this is car number 88, just to reiterate here. Yeah, so it's getting close to 20 minutes that he's been just sitting there. I might have to go back and get my phone and call him saying I'm going to be a bit late. If I do that, though, he'll drive away. That's the thing. If I do that, he'll drive away. But every time they do this, I'm going to film them if I have the time to do so. Tonight I left early, so I'm going to continue to film. You can see he's doing absolutely nothing. And you can clearly see there, a person drove right in front of him, endangering people's lives with a headlight out. Burnt out headlight at night, and nothing. So these people don't do legitimate work. We see not just this here, we see extensive evidence of them basically breaking the law, allowing people to break the law, and crap like this with no repercussions or anyone even saying anything about it. The only people who say anything about this are these fucking actors who work with the police, and that is done to make you think that there's some sort of pushback. There isn't pushback at all in reality. Those are Masons, those people, the frauditors, almost all of them, and they have fake communities, and the whole purpose is to work towards slowly shutting down people's ability to film the police in public by having those people act like morons and do crazy things. And also, they're going to have one of those people, or some of them in the future, in coordination with the media. They'll do something really stupid, and then they'll use it as an excuse to try to enact laws where people can't film the police. That's what their purpose is. I'm fairly sure of that. So, yeah, he's supposed to stay here till I leave and then drive away, so we're going to wait. We're going to have him wait for a long time. It's been 20 minutes now. He's been sitting there. He saw somebody breaking the law. He didn't even flinch or move to go and say anything to the person. I might have to go back and get my phone just to phone and say I'm going to be late. But, yeah, now it's like 9:40 or something like that. And he's been told to just sit here the whole time. It's all about harassment and intimidation, intentional intimidation. You saw these sick people parked directly in front of where I live doing the same thing, doing nothing. So every time you see pretty much these people, they're parked sitting in their cars, doing nothing, not contributing, not doing anything productive, watching people break the law. Watching people break the law right in front of their faces and doing nothing about it. So they're not here to uphold the law. They're here to degrade and debase the law. Why do we even have laws in this country if these people are not going to do their jobs? What's the purpose? You might as well just have anarchy or whatever, which is pretty much what it is anyway, because you have organized crime, gangs, people like that, freely able to get guns thanks to these people here who enable the drug trade and work with intelligence agencies, CSIS and these other organizations to ensure that they do get the guns and they are able to traffic narcotics. And then they get their cut of the money as well, like the police chief does here. So as long as this fucking Freemason scumbag's sitting there, I'm just going to continue to film him. So we're at 20 plus minutes now. And anyone can see this is illegitimate. Just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. Now if I go back to get my phone, I'd be willing to bet he's going to be gone for more when I come back, but we'll see. Yeah, 9:34. Okay. Okay. I'm glad I got his face on camera too, because that'll be right in the thumbnail. And this issue with these people involved in masonry being involved in the police is a worldwide issue. It goes on worldwide. They allow people to break the law. They traffic narcotics. They do not adequately do their jobs. They hire people who are absolute sociopaths with no conscience, so that they will be ensured that their loyalty only comes to that cult that they're involved with, above all else, right? And those vows that they take to that death cult, that deranged death cult, masonry, is above all else. So you cannot have people legitimately in these positions who have taken vows to something like that, which supersede their vows to serve and protect the public and be non-biased. They're going to be biased, of course. They're going to cover up the crimes of child molesters who are Masons. They're going to make sure that anyone who's a Mason never has to face any repercussions for their actions. And the media is not going to talk about any of it ever. Specifically with that, regarding that stuff. Now, they have to give you a little bit of stuff about police corruption, otherwise it would seem like, you know, suspicious. So they do give you some stuff, but most of it's made up. The real things they don't report on, the real things regarding these people being involved extensively in narcotics trafficking, and the connections to Masonic lodges in these people, as well as those activities. So I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to go back and get my phone my coworker, and tell him I'm going to be a little bit late, because I'm going to film this guy the entire time he's there. If he's still there when I get back there, when I come back, he's been here for not quite a half an hour yet, but he's been there for over 20 minutes, just sitting there. I showed clear proof that he allowed somebody to drive past, endangering people's lives with one headlight on at night, and the reason he didn't do anything is because he knows the person is driving with one headlight at night, because it's sensitization that they use in the organized harassment activities, which clearly you can see these people take part in. They're actors, they're psychopaths, they're murderers. If I walk back there, it's going to be closer to 10 by the time I get up there. I wonder if I should do that. Maybe I will. Yeah, I should have brought it with me from the shore. Okay, so you can see, you get the point, you see how long this guy's been sitting here for. He knows that I record too, he's been told. They all know about it. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to go back and get my phone and phone my coworker and tell him I'm going to be late, and I'm going to come back and stand here the whole fucking time this creep's here. I think he'll be gone when I come back, most likely, but we'll see. Quickly cross over here. Let's go back and do that. Now, every time they do this, I'm going to film them just to show. You can see how long he's been sitting there. You saw somebody drive by right in front of him with a burnt out headlight, not doing anything, because his whole purpose is to sit here and intimidate and harass me as I go to work. They don't do any legitimate work. The people here are paid a little bit less than the ones in Ottawa, but he's still making over, whatever, $80K a year to sit there doing nothing. So I'm going to get my phone and then come back and see if he's still here. Just going to phone my coworker, tell him I'm going to be late tonight. Odds are I think he's going to be gone from there when I come back, but we'll see. You got another actor sitting here in the car here as well. Down below here. So you can see this here. Look at the parking lot here. No one there. Everything closed here. And right here. Another headlight that's off there. Let's see if the police are going to move here. Okay, another headlight that's off there. Nothing. Now you can see the police car is facing towards that car with the burnt out headlight. He's not even moving. Not doing his job. Allowing people's lives to be endangered by people driving with. I mean, it's not a major infraction, but still, it is reckless to do that. If you know about it, and obviously these people know about it. So there's more clear evidence there that these psychopaths in the police participate in criminal harassment against people who have done nothing wrong, and that it's coordinated with those people there, because they never pull them over. They allow them to break the law. Are you still sitting there? Yeah. Oh no, look at this now. Look at this now. Look at this as I pass by. Look at this now. Look at this now. So now he's turning to face this way. He's going to pull out. Watch this. Look at this now. Right? So you can see just as I passed by here, he was just sitting there the whole time. Now I'm going to go up to the bus stop up here. Yeah, look at that, right? Because I was going to go get my phone and come back and film him some more, but he takes off there. So you can see that. Good footage for tonight again. And I don't think I'm going to be late. I think I'll still be on time, so I don't have to go back and get the phone. Just stand around doing nothing. That's a big activity too. Nothing. Absolutely no work. Second here. We'll see if these guys show up. Usually what happens is, since I don't have my phone here, oh yeah, right away. So this is the third consecutive night right here. If you think these people are doing anything legitimate, you're severely mistaken. You're very wrong. A31802. And they're not going to the train station at all. Third consecutive night these stalkers have driven by right as I've arrived. Anyone who says, who claims to be, like, first of all, anyone with sense knows that 95% of the people online aren't actually quote-unquote TIs. They're just participating in a simulation, and that's what it is. It's to simulate some of the things that are happening to real people, to discredit these real people. So that's why they'll sometimes show you real tactics with these frauds who they put online, and then have these actors and, you know, these people who they pay to act crazy and to discredit, dealing with situations that real targeted people might deal with, right? So that when they do that, they can have that person act like a nutcase, so that to the outsider who sees it, someone who doesn't know these things are going on, someone who's uncompromised, they're going to have a negative perception of that person, and they're just going to think that person's crazy. But you got to understand, to those who are not awake to this, you've got to understand, all of that stuff is deception that they put online to discredit real people who are having crimes committed against them. And I'm going to focus on that extensively in the future and moving forward as well, because it's very important. Not just with exposing, you know, these people per se personally. It's not about that. It's about, because this is an important aspect that they use to shut down people who can really expose this stuff. Now, think of it this way. Let's just say you had within close proximity or close enough range for let's say 4 or 5 real people who are really being targeted, who have captured legitimate evidence of these things, involving the police, involving first responders, harassing them, stalking them wherever they go, involving them using citizen operatives to follow them, harass them, mob them. Let's just say you had 4 or 5 of those people, and they captured credible evidence of it without any acting crazy, no stupid crazy talk about any nonsense like V2K that doesn't exist, none of that. Then what you would have is those people could do real activism, right? Real activism to expose it. But I can't even find anyone hardly who's willing to engage in that type of thing. Real activism, by that I mean disseminating information and showing these things. because it's flooded with fake people, and you might have maybe at most a couple hundred real targeted people in any city. And it is that low. The numbers are that low in terms of the real ones. So that's why they just swarm the subject matter with all these fakes. And from the very beginning, the term gang stalking has been a disinfo term. And they've created online this simulated environment with all these agents and fake people. And maybe a small sliver of them, a small percentage, are real targeted people who they've offered a deal to flip and act crazy or whatever, do things to discredit, and talk about V2K nonsense. Most of these frauds online talk about that, and that is specifically to associate people who are really being targeted with symptoms of schizophrenia, saying they hear voices. They do not hear voices. These people are liars, and they're sick psychopaths who are put out to discredit people. So anyway, even if you could do that, is this an ambulance? It is. Even if you got like a small amount of people to do real activism, and I mean like getting the word out that these things are happening, showing evidence to people around them, that would be effective. That would it wouldn't lead to immediate change, but if it would lead to the word being spread. And yeah, it's an ambulance here. Check this out on the side street where I live, leading up to where I live here. Yeah. You know, their Masonic brothers are working in the police, and that's to deflect away. So essentially disinformation is promulgated so voraciously regarding the subject matter. That's the most important aspect. I would argue it's the very most important, the absolute most important aspect, because without the involvement of law enforcement, the whole operation would basically collapse because it's a criminal operation. So if they're actually doing their jobs and not working with drug dealers, biker gangs, criminals who also partake in the harassment, and they actually were, you know, enforcing the law and protecting people, then the program would be shut down. So that is one of the most key and important aspects, if not the most important. Anyone telling you otherwise, who is seems to be actually intelligent, is a liar and probably an operative. And so that's all they put out with that stuff. Disregard all that nonsense and those lies about V2K. It's just drivel that is meant to discredit people. And those are CIA agents who are putting it out. There's no ex-CIA. Dr. Robert Duncan is a CIA agent. That's all there is to it. So is Eric Carlstrom. So is that other guy, John Hall. You know, they're not going to bring a real person on InfoWars. And you could easily go through John Hall's stuff and pick it apart too, but I'm not going to do that right now. Anyway, so those people who say that are absolute frauds, and they work for the program. Make no mistake about it. Those people who say the police involvement doesn't matter and that they're not involved in it or who protect them, they work for the program.